What up, tubers, and welcome back to another draft here on Magic Online Excel spreadsheet old school. Oh, hi, cat. Yes. Yeah, we got some more vintage cube here. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out cardkingdom.com/numot for all your Magic card needs. So I've not been a big fan of the more recent vintage cubes. I've noted that quite frequently lately, but it's just really all creature based for the most part. Just because they've added a bunch of creatures that are, well, basically better than all the spells, as opposed in old school where the spells were just better than your creatures, since creatures were very, very weak. Anyways, we have got Force of Will here, Karakas, Animate Dead. Those are my top three choices of this pack. Yeah, can't go wrong with a little Reanimator, perhaps. Animate Dead, I think, a nice one. Karakas may be the safest, just because you can play it in any deck. But I am brilliant, and we're going to get past a Grizzlebrand for pack number 2, pick number 2. And that is a fantastic choice after first picking Grizzlebrand. But they've got a bunch of cards that, well, I don't know what they're from. Like Gao here, Feral Youth. 2 mana 2/2 with Rage. Whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. Beginning of your each end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. And I guess it's from, okay, it's from Final Fantasy Commander. But in any case, we're going to be taking Grizzlebrand. I'll point out all of the strong creatures we ever see if they're from weird sets like that. But for the most part, I'm going to just stick to my plan. I think a Mystical Tutor here makes the most sense. It doesn't grab anything yet, but oftentimes in my Reanimator decks, it's going to find you, your Entombs if you're lucky enough, or maybe Exhume, the Reanimate proper, that type of thing. In addition to just being able to grab any busted cards you might get, Ancestral, Time Walk, or maybe in a pinch, a little bit of removal. Wishclaw, Talisman, Frantic Search, Undercity Sewers. So probably just an easy Frantic Search here and see if we can wheel. I mean, I don't really care for the Talisman outside of combo, like Thassa's Oracle combo nonsense. But yeah, Frantic Search is great. Woodfall Primus could also wheel. That's not a bad reanimate target. Shredder's great too. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is nice because it's kind of just like a weird 2-drop threat. Cat, please don't turn off my computer. 2-drop threat that also helps with your graveyard fuel, but also just digs, right? Now this is a pretty good start. Only better thing would have been open a piece of power or whatever, but for a reanimate start, this is good. Now, because this format is so heavily skewed towards creature-based strategies, again, at least in my experience, you really need to get the cheap creature interaction. So something like a Fire Covenant here is actually a lot better nowadays in this cube than it was, some versions ago. As an additional cost, pay X life, deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. So for 3 mana, you can Wrath their board a lot of the time, though obviously you will have to pay some additional life. It is not quite a Toxic Deluge. Hey, cat, I understand. Yeah, hello. But pretty good. Like a newer creature, Headliner Scarlet, for example. 4 mana, 3/3 haste. When it enters, creatures target players controls can't block. Beginning of it up as like just a very insane creature, right? So, okay, Atali is a decent one. Not amazing, but good enough. I mean, we could also be sort of a sneak or breach deck, right? Unearth is not terrible if you have some of the more value cheap creatures, which we don't currently have. Oh, Rumble's really good. I think I'd rather just take the Preordain here. Okay, cat, I understand. Come on. Okay. Okay, cat. Go, go, go. Come on. Come on, cat. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright. So here's our initial opening pack, and we wield the Epic here. That's a good one too, right? Just a random 1/1, but gives you that blood token, which is another way to discard a card. Chain of Smog, I think mostly in this format as a way to go infinite with Witherbloom Apprentice, but kind of funny, it's actually not bad in Reanimator. You know what? I might actually give this a shot in Reanimator. It just seems funny. I will take Oath of Druids here. That's a possibility. Because right now, Ledger Shredder is the only, like, quote-unquote brick of a hit. We could do, like, some reanimating oathing nonsense. There's a lot of overlap in decks that want to play Oath and want to be running some number of reanimate spells. Plus, if I do get the Apprentice, I'll already want to be getting green sources for the Chain of Smog combo, you know? So Witherbloom Apprentice is whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, or is it non-creature? One of those two. You drain for one. So with it on the battlefield, you target yourself with Chain of Smog, and then you just continuously copy it while your opponent is getting drained for one each and every time. Actually, Once Upon a Time ain't bad here. I don't think Once Upon a Time would be crazy at all to pick up. I'm probably supposed to take the Marsh, though. There's the Primus on the wheel. Now, Bayou is pretty freaking great, though, as well. However, I'm going to be playing the Primus no matter what. I'm not necessarily going to be playing the Bayou, right? That's only if we end up in green, which we might not. But yeah, this might be kind of funny in Reanimator. Target them, they discard 2, and then if they copy it and you have a fatty in your hand, you can discard it. Okay, pack 2. Still no power for us. What did we get? Strip Mine? Thundering Falls? The Surveil lands are kind of juicy just because if you get lucky, you know? Surveil a fatty into the graveyard early or whatever. Not great. I don't think there's like one standout card here. I'm going to take the Thundering Falls. I imagine in this deck, the Strip Mine's going to be worse. Because if we're going to be playing against a bunch of creature decks, again, presumably, I would say at least 1 or 2 of the 3 decks we fight are going to be a more creature-oriented beatdown deck. Then the Strip Mine's worse because I'm going to generally be the one behind a little bit, you know? Another pact that just isn't very good for us. Could take the Blood Chief's Thirst for some interaction. Could take Time Twister. Time Twister would be really good if we ended up getting a Sneaker Breach plan. This is probably the highest upside pick. Remand, Inquisition, Tower's all right. Brainstorm. Brainstorm for the Surveil land. Put the fatty in the graveyard after. I think I just like taking the Remand here. Yeah, we could definitely be oathing. In fact, I would lean towards we probably do oath. Grizzlebrand, Itali, and Primus are all decent with oath. Would like to get one. Actually, I don't think they have anything but Emrakul in for the shuffles, right? I think they cut Kozilek and Ulamog. And I believe, what else? Blightsteel Colossus doesn't reshuffle. It just, well, Blightsteel Colossus shuffles itself, but not the rest of your Cards in graveyard. Oh, this is not bad. Wow, am I just supposed to take Watery Grave, though? Probably. Barogoyf, decent. Hard to pass this grave, I think. Spell Pierce is probably fine. Oh, here's like another one that's probably not known to many people. This is from, again, Final Fantasy Commander. Yuffie Materia Hunter. 3 mana, 3/3 with ninjutsu. When it enters, gain control of target non creature artifact for as long as you control Yuffie. Then you may attach an equipment you control to it. Sure, I mean, yeah. Spell Pierce, Abrade, Freebooter. I guess I'm okay taking the Pierce. Let's take the Stern Scolding. Strix is good, but means that I don't play the Oath, right? Is Ledger Shredder plus Strix? Nah, I think Oath is probably... Ah, there we are. Perfect. That is exactly what we were looking for. Okay. So our top end is locked up. Now we just need to pick up fixing and some ways to interact early, and then maybe a little bit of card selection, more card selection. Monstrosity is insane. Another one people might not know about. 3 mana, 3/3 Trampler. Beginning of combat, mill a card and choose an opponent at random. So in this case, just your one opponent. This creature attacks that player this combat if able. Until end of turn, it gains indestructible and gets +1/+1 for each card type in your graveyard. It's from, yeah, another commander card. Just a very, very sick card. Beat down green card. Nice tomb pickup. All right, the fixing's coming in. I don't think I'm going to run the Verge. What does this add as a base? Red? I don't think I want to add a red base. I mean, I might not even splash the Covenant. I think the red splash is for more if we end up getting Sneak Attacker through the breach, right? Stick to a Sultai. Sultai cheat my fatties out game plan. Man, poor Tarmogoyf. Let's see, Savai. Red, white, black. Okay. All right, let's go to pack 3. That's a big yuck. Tropical Island? Ugh. Lose focus, I guess, is fine. Foothills grabs Tomb, but it doesn't grab a blue source. Oh, I'm actually really light on playable cards. Shoot. Non-land cards, it is. But I don't think we want... I guess, yeah, I guess I will just take the lose focus. Sorry, Tropical. I actually need spells right now. There's a Toxic. That's good. Maybe Wheel of Sunken Ruins. Bobble would be fine. Don't think we would want Tyrant. All right, so what do we have to hit with Tutor right now? Toxic, Twister, Frantic, Remand, Focus, Chain. Actually, it just basically hits everything. So notably, I have a lot of good targets for cheating out a fatty, but I don't actually have that many ways to cheat out the fatty, right? There was that show and tell in pack 1 or 2, and I passed that along. I only actually have the Animate Dead right now, so yeah. A way to cheat out something. Well, this is not the way we want to do it, though, is it? Flash is only really good with Primus. It's okay with Atali, but you don't get to like activate Grizzlebrand with this. Still the pick. That's also tutorable with the Mystical. It is actually a way to get one of the big creatures into the graveyard for reanimate effect. Oh, there's a Necromancy. Okay, that helps a lot too. Good, 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 good. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I have Oath of Druids. I have Oath and Animate Dead, or I had Oath and Animate Dead. Now we have Oath, Animate, and Necro. Okay. Let's see. So Time Twister, I guess. Yeah, we'll run the Time Twister. It's probably fine. Uh-oh, I hear a baby trying to get in. Ooh, a Mana Drain. Now, I know this is not a new card. It's been in the cube for a while now, but this is another stupid creature. 3 mana, 2/2, Menace Haste. With Boast, sacrifice another creature or artifact. This deals damage equal to 2 plus the sacrifice permanent's mana value to any target. So, very, 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 very powerful red 3 drop there. What is this from? Oh, just another. Yeah, everything's commander cards these days. I don't like it. Call me a boomer. Not a fan. Currency Converter, good pickup there. Another way to get stuff in the yard. 1 mana artifact. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. Pay 2 to draw and discard, and then tap. Put a card exiled with it onto the, or into the graveyard again. If it's a land, you make a treasure. If it's a non-land, make a 2/2. So pretty sweet. There's also an Inti there, I guess, which is a way to discard, but not really a good one in this deck. Verdant, what a good fetch pickup. Nice. That grabs all of our colors. Are we cruising for a bruising here? I guess it's probably not bad. Not going to be playing any of those. Let's see, I'm at 21 playables. So I guess I need to take the bobble here. Yeah. That makes 22. Talisman's nice. 23. Okay. Everything is stupid creatures these days. I'm too old school for this. I'm washed. I've been washed for ages. These new dangled, fangled magic cards. Give me my 5 mana draw 4s and my 4 mana 3/3s. Those were the heyday. Yeah, I'm missing like a vamp tutor. Do we run any of these other cards? No, 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 no. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably end up flooding out a bit. And I don't have enough card selection. Like, this is a deck that's going to need to high roll, right? Because I don't have enough ways to, like, grab a fatty. Yeah, I mean, I think this deck can do very powerful things, of course. It will just need to draw a little bit above average to make it work out. So we'll see. No red sources. I don't plan on ever hard casting the Atali. 3 forests would give me what? 3, 4, 5, 6 green sources for Oath of Druids. I mean, we probably kind of want to have quite a few to have Oath early. Currency Converter can also give us treasure for green. Let's see, this would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's already 8 black sources with only 3 swamps. That's pretty good. 5, 6, 7, 8. We need at least 9 or 10 blue sources, ideally. I think we can probably shave 1 forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green sources in land. Ah, man, I kind of want to add the Ledger Shredder in the deck. It's just so awkward with freaking Oath, but it is a way for us to dig and discard. And the flash, again, is not that great. Only realistically good with these two. Well, only realistically certain good with Primus. And it's just a way to put these into the graveyard, really. Though obviously Atali could high roll. Yeah, like if we had a Traxa, I don't think it would be a question. We would run the Flash. But I'm a little bit tempted to play Shredder over Flash and just have one bad hit for Oath of Druids. I think that's probably okay. I think we're going to try it like this. All right, let's see if the old school vintage cube master can master the new school form. I did a couple of these on stream last week, and I kept trying to build, and I admitted this during the drafting portion. I am drafting suboptimally in a way that's not, or rather, I'm drafting in a way that's not good in the current form of the cube. And then I just kept losing to Boros aggro decks in Vintage Cube, like Ocelot Prides and Guide of Souls, and I'm like, what are we doing here? It is what it is. Let's give it a shot. Alrighty, here we are for round 1 of this Vintage Cube draft. I think this is a keeper on the draw. We have Bobble to dig 1 card deeper, so really we have like 3 draw steps to find a secondary land. And the nice thing about the Shredder here is that, or rather the Oath here, is that we already have Shredder in our hands, so. Okay. All right, there's 1 draw, no land. Oh, that's scary. All right. Yeah. Foundry. Okay, well, Oath is pretty good versus the Foundry if they're planning on just making some tokens and whatnot, but I'd be terrified if they ever find a Tinker, that's for sure. They have a Coveted Jewel in their hand, and they might be able to cast it next turn. I did not draw a land. Holy crap. Now that is bad luck. Wow, serious? Man. Well, good news is I get to Spell Pierce their Jewel if they go for it. That's brutal, though. All right, all right, all right. I think I'm supposed to get the Shredder online first. I don't think I'm just supposed to pass with lose focus up. I don't think that's worth it. Next turn we can go Talisman plus Currency Converter, trigger the Shredder. Oh, they drew another artifact spell here. 4 mana. Oh, 5. Jar! Okay. So Talisman into Converter, trigger Shredder. We can pitch the Primus. Jeez, dude. Where are my lands? So the memory jar will fuel the currency converter quite a bit if it goes off, if they use it here. Because I'm going to discard the rest of the cards. Yep, here we go. Okay, so, Emrakul kind of sucks to discard. Because it's going to shuffle away the Primus from the graveyard now. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not great. Oh, you know what I can do, actually? If they trigger my Shredder this turn, I can discard the Emrakul and shuffle just what I have in the graveyard currently, and then Atali will go to the graveyard for me to reanimate next turn. That's probably better. Oh, did I order that wrong? I think I ordered that wrong. I could have eaten the Emrakul with the currency converter and pooped out a 2/2. That was a small mistake. Oh, wait, no, I'm going to get to exile something here anyways. So exile the land, then put the land in the graveyard, get a treasure. Eat the land. Because now we can have 5 mana to go Necromancy plus Toxic. Oh, sorry, Necromancy plus lose focus. If they're holding up a counter here, which it does feel like they might be doing. What did they discard? Lands and Mystic Confluence. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, here goes Atali. GL random top hat hits. Gadgeteer, and we re-hit our bauble. Okay. Let's see. I mean, I could Oath of Druids this turn. But I guess we probably just want to hold up focus. We're doing okay here. Wait, did my opponent jar last turn and not play a land? I I think they opted to not play a land last turn, right? Okay, stone's fine. Shredder triggers, was that just top? Sure, don't care about that. Mystical Tutor. Manifold Key. No Time Vault in the cube. So that's not too much of an issue. I'm still on 2 lands, by the way. We might be able to just actually set up for a Toxic where I keep my Atali and the Shredder, and they lose everything. Oh, I guess the Tammy does give them an extra artifact. All right, let's take a peek at the last card in their hand. Ugin. Found some land. Okay. Um. Well, I kind of go like going like this. Okay. So they're gonna sack and make a flyer. Uh huh. Then sack the flyer and make a 4/4. That's fine. Now I can Toxic for 4. Shredder's the only thing left. And I think instead of Animate Dead, we're just going to hold up Lose Focus. All right, I'm going to let that resolve. Because I'd rather counter the Ugin than the Basalt Monolith, because that means, like, if I counter the Monolith and then they find ways to cast Ugin later, that's bad, you know? So Shredder's going to go away, though. Oh, they're giving me another trigger first. That's nice. What do we even have the Mystical Tutor for now? Treasure Cruise is back. I guess that's good. So just discard a land here. So counter unless they pay 4. And I think we're going to make a 2/2. Well, I could grab Drain. Actually, Drain's probably the safest. Animate Dead the Atali, hold up Drain. They get to spin the top if they want to. That seems okay. Because when my Atali hits my Emrakul, we just win on the spot. Yep. Oh, they're gonna give me top instead. Okay. I'm fine with that too. And I did hit the Emrakul. There we go. Easy game. Easy as pie. Because remember, Atalia is casting the spell, so you get all the cast triggers, like taking extra turns. All right, 1-0 start. No sideboards. Let's just submit and go to the next game. All right, on to game number 2 here. Decent looking opener. Especially with my opponent having a creature. So if they can't get rid of this Oath of Druids or flip their Tammy, then we are going to be oathing real quick. And they would need to draw 2 extra cards this turn to flip the Tammy. Though that's not extremely hard in Vintage Cube. All right, so Primus is gone. If we hit the Shredder, that's going to be pretty funny. Talisman. Top. Oh, they can't draw a 3rd card, though, since they didn't have a 3rd land. Hey, how about an Emrakul? Your move. Second blue source would have been great there, but we still hold lose focus. So now this is the cube I'm used to. F your creatures, man. F your 1-drops and 2-drops. Give me a 15 mana play any day of the week. Any day and every day. So say they flip Tammy. What happens? Nothing? Yeah. Looks good, feels good. No matter what they do, if they can deal with Emrakul, it has to be through a lose focus. The Shatter Paws of Defeat, maybe? Spin the top. That's a good start for us. That's -1 mana. Okay. City. Demonic Tutor. Uh-huh. So what can they do for 1 and a blue? Time Walk. We're okay on that. And we will take the first round. Nice. Let's keep it going. Let's beat up on some fools. All right, here we are for our second round of this Vintage Cube draft. That looks like a keeper to me. 2 reanimate effects rather, and a frantic search. No creature to reanimate yet, and Emrakul does not work. You can technically reanimate Emrakul with Necromancy, but this sacrifices at cleanup step. So unlike something, say, Corpse Dance, which sacrifices at end of turn or whatever, I can't end of turn Necromancy. I can't end of turn Necromancy Emrakul and then get to attack with it on my turn. That's all right. We'll just naturally draw one of the other biggies. That's the plan anyways. Philia. All right, so the classic Boros, this is what I was talking about. There's an Atali. That's very good. Yes, we do have a couple of green lands we can fetch. Let's get our tomb tapped. Oh, Shredder's also a nice draw. But we'll just go for Frantic first. What is the wording on this? Like, if they flicker my Necromancy or Animate Dead, how bad is that for me? Not bad. Okay. And if they flicker a Tolly, that's pretty bad too for them. All right, let's just hit Emrakul. Easy. What did I hit? I hit a counter. Oh, I hit a lose focus on their end of things. Oh, we didn't want to cast this. Oh, no, I'm really bad at this game. Because now they get to flicker the... Well, if they flicker the voice, then I get to eat their Philia, I guess. Yeah, that goes both ways. I probably should not even... Actually, that was one of the worst possible Italis we could hit. I mean, I guess any any permanent on their end was going to be bad. We wanted to hit like a random bolt or something from them, but obviously hitting our counter was really gross. Now, I didn't mention this during deck building, but I do have a lot of bricks for my own Atali, right? I have like 4 counters in the deck, so. Ooh, the Cosmogrand. All right. Treasure cruising for a bruising. And then they flicker the voice. I think we're just going to let that happen. We're going to kill him too quickly, I think, for the voice to matter. Sad, sad Itali. Actually, shoot, you know what maybe I should have done, which I didn't think about? I could have actually countered the Voice of Victory while it was on the stack with Itali. I could have cast Lose Focus on the Voice of Victory, and then that would have put the focus in my graveyard, which would have paid off for this treasure cruise that I've drawn. All right, they flicker, voice. Yeah. That was a really bad play for me to have cast their Voice of Victory like this. Oh well. I'm just going to remand that now. They're going to double spell here anyways, most likely. And if for some reason they don't double spell, I'm not going to be able to use this remand anymore. So this is all because I cast their Voice of Victory that I have to make these like suboptimal plays, but it's kind of funny. Now, good news is they're going to trigger the Shredder if they do cast. Oh, Goblin Bombardment. That's pretty hot. So we pitch the Mana Drain. Because remember, they're getting their Voice of Victory back here. Almost kind of want them to kill the Ledger Shredder by throwing 2 tokens at it now. And that'll let me just Ancestral with the Cruise. Oh, mistakes were made, though. Their Voice of Victory with the Goblin Bombardment is also sick. God, I fudged this game up real bad. I mean, I guess I could animate dead the Shredder first, but I think we just want to do this. Okay, what can I mystical tutor for? I can mystical tutor for oh, toxic. Mystical tutor. Oh, I'm 1 mana short of being able to draw it this turn though. Yeah, I can tutor, preordain, draw the toxic, and then unable to cast it. How much damage is it next turn if they attack me? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 17. They could potentially kill me next turn. Chain of Smog's not good enough. Okay, let's just preordain and hope to hit Toxic. Like a freaking champion. This is a little bit awkward though, as I'm gonna have to give -4, which means then they can shoot all of their creatures at the Atali to finish it off, but I guess that's actually what we kind of want since we have Animate Dead. Oh, they're going face. Okay. They did not kill the Atali. Interesting. I wonder if they forgot? Well, remember, they do have a copter in their hand, but that, I guess, that's not too problematic. Cycle Rogren Triome? Oh, they're like digging for swords or something, I guess. Or oust or path. Nice. Okay. Whew. I played that very poorly. But sometimes you just get there. Looks like Covenant versus them is probably okay if we wanted to bring in a little bit of our red. Oh my gosh. It's Poe 2 new season release day, and I keep seeing Steam notifications. Though it hasn't come out yet. It's in a few hours. Yeah, Covenant and Heat aren't crazy to bring in. But I think we're okay. I might actually want to cut one of my counters. And I'll just bring in like random flash. Spell Pierce didn't seem particularly great versus them. I'm sure it'd be fine. And being able to maybe high roll like a flash Primus on turn 2 is just too sick. So go like that. Okay, game number 2 here of the second round. Hard to pass on a hand that has a toxic versus them, but this is not that good. Let's make the same start as last game. And we can play Blooming Marsh on turn 3 if we want to. But I want to get the tap lands out of my hand now if possible. All right, well, that Voice of Victory is super annoying. Now the downside, well, I guess there's no downside here, right? Because if I draw a counter, I can't cast it anyways during a voice turn. So I probably just have to go Marsh Toxic next turn and not be too greedy. Excuse me. Damn it. See, that's what we didn't want to see. Because Copter gets around Toxic. Good beats. Worst case scenarios. I wonder if I just have to fire off Time Twister here and try to high roll. That legitimately feels like what I have to do. It's such a bad play, or my weak play, I should say. Maybe not bad. Oh, well. I think we can probably just go to game 3 at this rate. I guess if I draw exactly Frantic plus one of my fatties exactly. This is what I'm talking about, though. This is the majority of the decks I've been facing in this cube lately. It's just like, this doesn't feel like vintage cube to me. You have all these commander creatures, infinite creatures from like all the modern Horizons and sets and stuff. It's just not the way I prefer to play vintage cube. Nothing wrong with it, of course. This game's over. Oh, we're actually dead here, right? They sack the cat. Yeah, shoot. They have the Johnny with bombardment plus the voice of victory, all of its tokens. So we're just dead. I'll let them do the thing. Okay, they see it. That's a turn 4 kill, by the way. A Johnny Goblin Bombardment. Hell of a drug. And again, you can draft Ocelot Pride. You can draft, what do you call it? The Guide of Souls. It's exactly what I was talking about during the draft. Exactly what I was talking about. All right, game number 3 of the second round of this vintage cube draft. We are going to need to high roll a little bit better than that. Let's take a mulligan. Okay. I think we keep this because of the Stern Scolding. And I guess I lose a land here. Tempted to keep the Grizzle, or tempted to pitch the Grizzlebrand there, though. This is it. I'm telling you. So sick. Okay, I need some really big help now. Yeah, it's literally just the same deck. Boros Energy. We're going to need to find Toxic. Turn 1 Guide of Souls, turn 2 Raptor. Ay, ay, ay. Man, you can't fault my opponent for drafting that deck. I do think it's one of the best like strategies to draft in this cube. It's just so boring. To me, anyway. I'm hoping they cast something big this turn. They did see me discard Mana Drain uh, in game 1, so... Yeah, they're just going to kill me with what they have. That's a good draw. I'm on a short clock, but that's a good draw for me. Needed that earlier. Might have had a really good chance, actually. I can hard cast Grizzlebrand with a land off of currency converter discard plus another black source. I guess that's not very likely though, is it? Okay, I'm at 8. I get 2 mana here. Well, I guess I have to go like this. Reprieve? That is brutal. Reprieve on my treasure cruise. Holy yikes. Now remember, I can make a couple of 2/2s with currency converter, one each turn though. Only one each turn, I should say. Yeah, kind of getting dismantled here. Okay. The Giver of Runes giving protection from colorless is hilarious because my... oh, wait, no, these are black creatures. Never mind. I guess it didn't matter then. Yep, force them to use the Giver of Runes here. Still going to force them. All right, Shredder comes back. By that I mean dies because of Containment Priest. 2, 4, 5, 6. I guess technically I should leave those in. Well, what am I going to find with 1 mana? Oh, there are a couple things, I guess. That ain't going to cut it, though. All right, I'm not dead on board, but we're damn near close. Damn near close to it. Phage, that'll do it. All right, GG's. Again, can't fault the opponent for drafting it, but man, this is why the vintage cube nowadays for me is just so bleh. And I don't want to draft decks that can beat Boros, or rather, I know I draft suboptimally in a way to play in this particular cube, but it's not even just Boros proper. It's just the more aggressive decks in general, because when all of your creatures just have insane spells or abilities already attached to them, you know, why do anything else? But again, this is just boomer me complaining, so I will continue to draft what I like and lose instead of drafting correctly and maybe winning. Let's pull off a 2-1 at least. All right, here we are for the third and final round of this vintage cube draft. On the play, I'm going to keep this hand. I think if I was on the draw, I would mulligan, but a couple of cheap counter spells, that seems fine. Crazy! Talking about me, how washed I am. I'm so clean, I'm so washed. What's that meme? My mom asked me to do the dishes, and when I responded, yeah, they're NumotTheNummy, she knew they were washed. Something like that. Ooh, that's very good. So if they're turn 1 playing Urza Saga, generally that means one of two things, right? They either are missing other lands or they have an accelerant. And if they're going for an accelerant play, we kind of get them real good with a counter here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I mean, if it makes you feel better, OP, my hand sucks, and you still can get one token if you want to. Oh, wait. No, they can't. Of course they can't. Derp. You have... Alright, my opponent has 2 Mox and a Saga. I'm already dead. Let's hope they tap out for a 4-drop there, so that I can remand it and get him good. Gosh, I want to go Mystical for freaking Time Twister, but when they have 2 pieces of power, that's just not good. Like, why do I feel like grabbing Frantic Search is good here? I guess because I have a Tali in my hand. There's the black source, so let's see if we can find a reanimate effect. Well, with 6 cards in their hand, I think I'm okay firing off Time Twister then. Is there any 2-mana black card I would cast this turn? No, so we can tap our swamp. Oh, I should have actually tapped Forest and left up double blue, though. That would have been better, of course. Stern Scolding? No, probably just better to Shredder. I would guess they're likely to double spell, and then we can pitch the Grizzlebrand if that's the case. But, I mean, that was a decent Time Twister, right? They had 6 cards in their hand. I only had, what, 3 or 4, so... Oh, land? Pass. It is library, but that wasn't that bad. Bobble Preordain, Trigger Shredder. 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I'm pretty close to just hard casting Grizzlebrand. Looks like the Toxic isn't very good versus them. Punished. Let's go top, top. And then if they double spell, we still can discard Grizzlebrand or Atali. I guess Atali makes more sense. Well, no, Grizzlebrand absolutely makes more sense because then we get the big card draw. This is not looking like a maybe good matchup for us, though. Leyline Binding. Staff of the Storyteller discarded. Yeah, if they're going to do anything, they should draw with Library first. Oh, Bowmaster. Nice. And they didn't draw off of Library either. Actually, hell, I think I'm going to animate their Bowmaster. I can actually cast Primus, too. That's pretty funny. We've drawn basically like all of our green sources to cast the Primus. Aw, boo. Bounce their bow. That's not bad. That's fine. I have a feeling they also have a counter, but oh well. Question is, what am I blowing up here? And I guess I'm going to hit the scrub. If they want to bind in response, that means they're further away from continuing to activate their library. I don't have a way to get rid of an enchantment, do I? Randomly? Besides the Primus, I guess technically Emrakul attacking, but you know what's not very good versus Bowmaster, Grizzlebrand, and Treasure Cruise. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 9, 10. Yeah, we are nearly dead here. Oh, they're shooting the Shredder. Wait, was I dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I go to 12. Wait, I was dead if they had just shot my face and cast like one more spell, right? Not that I can win here anyways, but... Caracas is also kind of good against me. Wow, I'm going to lose because I reanimated their Bowmaster and let them get it back. I guess I Toxic for 1 to start. Try to get rid of the bow. Necromancy. Probably keep that and then try to Frantic into something good. I assume shocking myself isn't an issue because 7 is the same as 5 in this situation. Those were not good. Now we can cruise for 1. I don't know what I can hit here. I could Necromancy their Bowmasters, I guess. Sheesh. Pretty brutal. And we'll be chumping here with the Bowmaster since that's going to die anyways, since I'm flashing the Necromancy. Assuming I'm not just dead here. Which I could very well be. Oh, Karn doesn't kill me. Oh, they simply made a token. Okay. Wait, can I kill them with Animate Dead and Time Twister? I do, right? Grab my own Time Twister here. Animate Dead their Bowmaster again. This is pretty funny. I should shoot that one more time, I guess, for safety, but it doesn't really matter. Nice, because our orc army was already on the battlefield, so it's just going to simply get larger there. Holy crap, I can't believe we won that. Their deck looks a lot stronger than mine, but I guess maybe we have decent interaction versus what their plan is. All right. Let's win the next game, or one of the next two games. All right, on to game number 2 here. Our hand looks pretty nice. If I really wanted to, I could turn 1 discard Primus and then go for turn 3 Animate Dead. But I think because we have Mana Drain in hand, we don't need to make that play. Because on turn 3, I can Chain of Smog myself and then do that plan. Oh, they're playing out there. Okay, so they have... So this is bad, because now... Never mind, it's good again. Okay, this is bad because now they're probably just going to spend pass their turn and make a token instead of casting anything for my mana drain. But with Frantic Search, that's fine. And we'll shoot off their Urza's Saga here. They can make 1 token, but no big deal. I know it's dying next turn anyways, but... Oh, what? Oh, they're going to Leyline Bind instead. Sweet. Okay. Well, that was not a bad turn of events. Hopefully they don't have much to follow up this turn. That is not good. Hmm. Guess we can go get Treasure Cruise. So let's go like this. Chain of Smog them to get their last 2 cards. They're absolutely going to counter, or rather copy, because now they have no cards. And I'll discard Lose Focus and one of my islands. And then we can go grab Treasure Cruise with the tutor. I assume they're just going to make another token here. Kind of want to grab Toxic, but I think Cruise makes more sense. We'll leave Frantic and Animate Dead in since we have Time Twister in our deck somewhere. And now we're going to die to just 2 Construct tokens. I get a lot of mana here. Okay, now that works. We're still losing, but we're not dead. Oh, did I forget to play my land for Spell Pierce? I think I did. Or not for Spell Pierce, for Time Twister. Ah, Staff with Karn is also a beating. Yeah, their deck's just better than mine. But we have some very powerful effects and cards that could get us through. I mean, the fact that they just have double Mox is already... I can spell pierce that just enough. All right, so I need to draw Time Twister into Frantic, discard a Tali, reanimate a Tali, hit Emrakul or something. Actual 1 in 1 million chances here. All right, let's go to the third and final game, see if we can salvage a 2-1. 0 lands. Great. That's good. I'll keep the Time Twister. Just because we might want to re-suit up. Yeah. I'm going to lead on island, so maybe he has to scare them. Make them think about a mana drain or something. Okay, no counter on that. Play as if I did have a counter, that is. I guess I'll get the Shredder online for now. All right, Trinket Mage grabs one of their mocks. They should be running it out. Oh, I guess they want to wait for it, yeah, to double spell. Okay, well, we're going to punish them for making maybe the right play. That's kind of funny. Because they have 7 cards in their hand. Not bad. Now what do I Mystical Tutor for? Maybe just grab Frantic again. Let's go ahead and run out the bubble. We're going to be able to double spell next turn pretty easy, and very likely they're going to double spell. Yeah. Double power, pretty nice. Oh. Okay. Well, that wasn't that bad for us. I mean, it was, because they went double mocks first, but... They have Leyline Binding in hand. Hmm. All right, let's grab Remand. We're going to draw another card after Remand anyways. Still have Watery Grave to grab with the Verdant. All right, we chill in for now. Maybe we can mana drain something relatively big into getting a good Time Twister turn for ourselves. Dang it, that's bad. Ugh, Saga's so good. I think I'm just gonna fire it off. Why is Emrakul in my deck again? For Oath of Druids? I guess it's the card I'm going to discard. That's pretty nice. Looking for Primus again, I guess. Uh, I can reanimate their stuff. That spells mana value, and that is a 6-er. So we're going to get 6 colorless mana to begin our first main phase next turn. That's pretty good. Oh, they're going big. What is it? That's fine. Honestly, I don't mind that much. Okay. They added mana, and then they made a token. I mean, I mind, but... So do I want to animate one of their things first before time twisting? Does that make sense? I don't think so. I mean, I could Trinket Mage for Currency Converter. I guess that's not bad. That was, however, disgustingly bad. Yikes. Holy smokes, that was bad. Alright, we're dead. We're so dead in the head. I assume they're just going to exile all of my permanents for the most part. Mm-hmm. Oh, if they moved it, they should have moved the Nettle Cyst, or still, like, how much is it to move? Oh, no, they still can. Move the Nettle Cyst over. Oh, they didn't go for lethal. They had lethal, right? In theory. Not that I have any outs. I can bobble remand it to draw a card. Toxic technically keeps me freaking alive here. Yeah, this is just delaying the inevitable. That would be funny though if I had like 15 mana and could just hard cast Emrakul. All right, you win, you win. We got crushed. All right, a little taste of vintage cube here. And like I said, can't be building the decks that I like to build. You got to go for generally a more creature-based strategy. Although their deck was sweet, but double pieces of power will help a lot with that. So we'll see you back next time, friends. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.